So please let me cut to the chase here and introduce the chair of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, the first tourist, and the First Lady, Susan Corbett.
Thank you, Philip. Thank you for that very kind and extremely effusive introduction earlier. I think it's safe to say that you can relatively be assured you will continue as executive director as long as the current chair of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts is in place. And actually, for those of you who haven't yet met Philip, we'll be working with him over the next couple of months. Philip is rather an anomaly in arts administrators in the country. He's a national leader. Most often these agency heads are replaced with each administration, but Philip has been at the Council of the Arts for, is it 20 years? 21 years, through various administrations of both political persuasions, because he's that good. So I know you're going to enjoy working with him. And I'm really pleased to be back in Indiana, and I did have the thrill of hearing Renee Fleming perform on the IUP stage, and as well as taking a tour, and I remember well the artwork of Ron Donahue, who's one of my favorite artists, on exhibition at IUP. So really excited to be back on the campus, and thank you to all of those who are involved here at the Jimmy Stewart Museum. I got to meet the staff and dedicated volunteers. It's a wonderful little museum, and I love this theater. It's not large enough for the Arts Awards ceremony, but it certainly is a beautiful spot to visit. I feel like we should have some popcorn and juicy fruits or something. But it's a great little spot. I'm so pleased that all of you are here, and especially my co-chair, Jean Gleason, who made the trip from Johnstown. So thanks, Jeannie. And thank you all for joining us today as I represent Governor Tom Corbett in naming the newest recipients of the Governor's Awards for the Arts, which is the Commonwealth's highest recognition of contribution to the arts in Pennsylvania. And as Pauline mentioned, it is very special for us to announce the honorees of this year's Governor's Awards for the Arts in the Hometown Museum that celebrates the first recipient of the Governor's Award, actor Jimmy Stewart. This year, the list includes artists revered in classical music and the visual arts, a dedicated advocate for arts and education, a noted patron of many outstanding arts institutions, and a world-renowned museum that celebrates one of Pennsylvania's most influential artists. The recipients will accept their awards in person on Sunday, September 28th at the Fisher Auditorium at the IUP campus. This will be the first time the Governor's Awards for the Arts will take place on a Sunday. We hope this will allow friends of the honorees and friends of the arts to travel from Johnstown and Pittsburgh and from locations that have been previously hosting this event, like Philadelphia, Greensburg, Erie, and Altoona. The awards are a gubernatorial tradition started by Governor Richard Thornburg in 1980, and today's list of distinguished honorees will join an incredible group of past recipients. In addition to Mr. Stewart, Pennsylvania has also recognized Andrew Wyeth, John Updike, August Wilson, Fred Rogers, Michael Keaton, Marilyn Horn, Jerry Pinkney, Rob Marshall and Kathleen Marshall, Jeff Koons, and many other talented artists and arts lovers. And now to today's announcement. There are 5 award categories: the Patron of the Arts, the Arts Innovation Award, the Leadership and Service Award, the Artist of the Year, and the Distinguished Arts Award. The recipient of the Patron Award will be Mark E. Pascarilla of Johnstown. He is president of Pascarilla Enterprises, a private investment company, and formerly the CEO of Crown American Realty Trust. Nominated by cultural organizations from across Western Pennsylvania, Mr. Pascarilla has extended and deepened the family tradition of arts and cultural giving with his own leadership and service. He believes, as do we, that arts and culture serve as the vital and vibrant infrastructure of a community. He is an advocate for the importance of arts, culture, and heritage in driving economic development and fostering the greater good. He has funded numerous summer programs in the arts for youth and is described as a tireless fundraiser and advocate for the arts. Among the many organizations that have benefited from his generosity and leadership are the Johnstown Area Heritage Association, the Pascagoula Performing Arts Center at the University of Pittsburgh at the Johnstown campus, the Pittsburgh Opera, River City Brass Band, Manchester Craftsmen's Guild, the Johnstown Concert Ballet, and Johnstown Symphony Orchestra. Congratulations, Mr. Pascagoula. Award for innovation goes to the Andy Warhol Museum, one of the Carnegie Museums of Pittsburgh. The Warhol is celebrating its 20th anniversary with a comprehensive redesign of its galleries. Museum Director Eric Shiner describes the new goal to both engage and educate guests so that everyone leaves with a true understanding of who Andy was and why he matters so much. The museum attracts diverse audiences that are able to creatively interact with Andy's art and life. It is constantly changing and redefining itself in relation to contemporary life, using its unique collections and dynamic interactive programming as its tools. The museum shares its wealth of art, films, video, and archives with the international arts community through a high-traffic website and regularly traveling museum collections around the globe. An early adopter of social media channels of communication and new technology, its Twitter feed now has more than 500,000 followers. The Warhol also has its own mobile app, DIY Pop, that allows anyone to turn a smartphone photo into a virtual silkscreen print, just like those created by Andy Warhol. And through a partnership with the Layer app, we can view locations pivotal in Warhol's life in Pittsburgh and New York, overlaid in real-time images from our smartphones. We're very excited to give this honor to the Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh. Indiana's own Myron Tom will receive the 2014 Leadership and Service Award for his visionary work promoting the benefits of arts and education for all Pennsylvanians. One of the longest-serving members of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts from 1992 to 2011, Mr. Tom was chair of the Council's Subcommittee on Arts and Education throughout his tenure, and he worked diligently to foster participation in the creative process in schools and community settings. Mr. Tom's tireless leadership helped build the PCA's nationally recognized statewide infrastructure of exemplary local and regional cultural and educational organizations that serve as the Pennsylvania Council's regional partners. And as Philip mentioned, IUP is one of those partners. The partners now provide services across the state that include artist residencies, workshops, teacher training, professional development, and consulting and referral services, with the goal of improving student achievement and teacher effectiveness. In addition to his passionate advocacy for arts and education, Mr. Tom is a founding member of the Indiana law firm of Tom, Mack, Kaufman, and Fritz. He has served on many local and regional boards, including the Foundation for IUP, the Southern Alleghenies Museum of Art, and the Indiana Arts Council. And in 2005, he received the Indiana University of Pennsylvania Distinguished Alumni Award. Congratulations, Myron. And I'm going to do a dramatic reading of this last award at the hospital after this event for Myron. So. Well-known and much admired Western Pennsylvania artist Robert Qualters will be named Artist of the Year. Earlier this year, a celebration of his career and legacy started with a retrospective exhibition entitled Robert Qualter's A Life at the Pittsburgh Center for the Arts. The exhibition was created by Vicki Clark, who also authored the new book, Robert Qualter's Autobiographical Mythologies, published by the University of Pittsburgh Press and launched in March 2014. A documentary film by Joe and Elizabeth Siemens, Bob Qualter's The Artist in Action, debuted that same month at Pittsburgh Filmmakers, and all of this excitement was centered around Mr. Qualter's 80th birthday. In a Pittsburgh Magazine feature also in March, Richard Armstrong, former director of Carnegie Museum of Art and current director of the Guggenheim Museum in New York City, said, "As a conjurer of life in the 20th century industrial Pittsburgh, painter Robert Qualters has no peers. Possessed of distinctive style and palette, Qualter's work stands as rich testimony to his long life of observation, matched by great powers of evocation." Mr. Qualter's work is represented in the permanent collections of the Carnegie Museum of Art, the Oakland, California Museum of Art, the Westmoreland Museum of American Art, as well as the main offices of PPG Industries, Alcoa, Hillman Company, the Pittsburgh Foundation, the Heinz Endowments, and many other corporations, schools, agencies, and private collections. Congratulations, Bob. It is with pleasure that I announce the recipient of this year's Distinguished Arts Award, Jennifer Higdon, one of America's most acclaimed and most frequently performed living composers. The Washington Post described her as a savvy, sensitive composer with a keen ear, an innate sense of form, and a generous dash of pure esprit. She received the 2010 Pulitzer Prize in Music for her violin concerto. Her works have been commissioned and performed by orchestras throughout the world and are enjoyed by many in several hundred performances a year and on more than 36 CDs. Her orchestral work, Blue Cathedrals, is one of the most performed contemporary orchestral compositions, with more than 400 performances worldwide. Ms. Higdon's commitment to the highest level of artistic achievement and the quality of her work across a diversity of musical genres has earned her many national and international honors. A gifted teacher, she has inspired a generation of young composers and musicians at the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, where she holds the Milton L. Rock Chair in Composition Studies. Congratulations, Ms. Higdon. So, on September 28th, as the host of the 2014 Governor's Awards for the Arts, Indiana, Pennsylvania becomes the cultural capital of the Commonwealth. The Governor and the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts are pleased to recognize the creations and contributions of the 2014 recipients as their names are added to the long and distinguished list of Pennsylvania's Arts Awards honorees. Tom and I look forward to sharing this exciting celebration with all of you and with arts lovers across the Commonwealth. Thank you. So we're happy to take some questions if there are any questions. All right, everybody's all excited to go. Right? Now the sprint. Thank you very much. Our honorees are from really across the state. That happens every year. We do the Governor's Awards because it really is a statewide honor to be recognized. This year we have a couple honorees from Pittsburgh, one from Johnstown, Indiana, and then the highest award, which is a Distinguished Artist Award, is a composer from Philadelphia. So we're expecting people from all over the state to come in for the Governor's Awards in September. Well, it's very difficult to choose the honoree. And actually, organizations, individuals from across the state make those nominations. We start with a huge binder of nominations, and the Arts Council weighs in on it, but the governor makes the final selection. It's difficult because we have so many talented people, but luckily every governor has continued this ceremony and this honor, and so Governor Corbett's very pleased to be able to honor some of the many wonderful artists in Pennsylvania. Well, my career has been in arts and culture, and so this is one of the most favorite things that I get to participate in. I've been on the Arts Council for a number of years, but now as chair get to be on the stage with these amazing, talented people. So it really is one of the most enjoyable things that I get to do.